Let's get physical, it's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch the 4th of November until the 8th. Atari 50, the Anniversary Celebration Expanded Edition, is releasing this week, and this is a new release of the very commendable Atari 50 to celebrate the anniversary of the company. Who'd have thought that? This includes even more games for a total of over 140. Sadly, I think most of the new additions are for like Atari 2600 rather than anything overly exciting like more Jaguar games, but it's something at least, and it includes more interviews and the like, and no doubt will be presented beautifully. I wanted to buy the original, but now I'm glad I waited since now I can get this. And it's also releasing on PlayStation 5. And my brand new executive producer, my Let's Get Physical producer, Wixit, he's chosen this as his pick of the week. And if you want to purchase this or any of the retail games in this episode, please consider using the Video Games Plus links in the description and pinned comment. If you purchase via those links, it massively supports me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. VGP are a great company with free worldwide shipping if you purchase something over 80 Canadian bucks. Only $60 American, so not that much, and yeah, it's a fantastic way to support me and this channel. Plus, each week, you get put into a draw with the chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Ruben I. Congratulations, Ruben. You should get an email from VGP, if you haven't already, with your discount coupon, and yeah, I thank you greatly for your support. What else have we got? Mario and Luigi Brothership is Nintendo's big game this week, and I think it might be their last big one this year, right? Couldn't they have sneaked in Xenoblade in December? Oh well, this looks like a bright, colourful adventure, and who knows, now that the series is in the hands of a new developer, maybe they'll take it to the next level. Now the series is in HD, and the first time on a home console, can it make the big step? I think this game will be a nice breezy palate cleanser for whatever game you've just finished, and I do hope it continues the Switch's trend of Nintendo's series selling the best ever on this system. We'll have to see though. My executive producers, Precision Plague, Jennifer M, Isa, Kevin W, Josh Foot, God of Resin, Feig, and Thorn Metal Luna have chosen this as their pick of the week. Wildermyth is releasing physically this week in North America. I don't believe there is a European physical. Now, this is a much-loved game, very positive reviews about it on Steam, like so many. Didn't seem like my kind of game, but I did get a code for it to give it a try, and make an impressions video. But after, 20 minutes like playing it, I'm like, yeah, this game's not for me. Plus it was glitchy and laggy and very messy, and I just said, you know what, I don't want to make a video about something that makes me miserable. But aside from technical issues, I can see why people will like it. It's like a choose-your-own adventure thing with some tactical RPG going on. It's multi-generational, so when you finish one arc, your babies with your comrades, they will be the heroes for the next run. And there's like crossover and stuff, but I just prefer a bespoke story with proper characters and good writing. That's so hard to ask for. But anyways, it's also releasing on PlayStation 5. SCHiM, I don't know how to say it, is releasing this week on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. This game has been out for a while in Japan, and I know a good few people who have imported it. It came with that little bonus item that looked like a Johnny. I don't think this will come with a Johnny. This is a fascinating game that's all about jumping in shadows. It reminds me a bit of Frogger with Limbo. It sounds like the perfect mashup that you didn't know you needed, but you do. This is probably not a game people will rush out to purchase, but it's definitely something I would sit down and play. Looks nice, and my executive producers Alexander Kato and Ishin have chosen this as their pick of the week. Virche, Evermore, Epic Lycoris. Yeah, I've got to agree. Of all the sweets and candy, Lycoris is epic. Massively underrated flavor alongside cinnamon and banana. This is the fandest to Virche Evermore era salvation. As always, I don't know much about it, but I've got Katie working on a video which may be up, in a week or two. These VNs are like 50-hour monsters, so there's no rushing her on it. If you're waiting to hear her thoughts, just know that it is going to be coming eventually. Magical Bakery is getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox this week. Just when you're in the need of a good cozy game as the winter rolls in, it's got cute witches, probably got cinnamon buns, it must be great. Well, okay, the publisher is Sodesco, who probably would publish their Nan even if they were on their deathbed. They can be hit and miss. They're just as equally likely to publish your Nan in her prime. I don't know what I'm talking about. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions Deluxe Edition is kind of releasing on the Switch this week because yes, it's been a while, ladies and gentlemen, but we've got ourselves a code in a box bullshit. There's no cartridge. However, there is a PlayStation 5 and Xbox physical releasing this week, which they don't appear to be a bit of bullshit. However, yeah, I've got a double however for you. As I mentioned a couple of days ago in my biggest physicals of November, Japan next month, in December, is getting a physical Switch cartridge. At least it appears that way. There's no mention of a download code. However, it's been a while since I whipped out the triple however. Japan says that a constant online connection is required to play the game. So if you're in it for preservation's sake, you're basically pissing in the wind. Let's Sing 2025 2-mic bundle is releasing this week, and it seems to be only arriving with the 2-mic bundle. I haven't actually seen the solo release, which is weird since you'd have thought after about 24 releases of Let's Sing on the Switch, you'd think that people would be fairly stocked up on Poundland microphones. Oh well, bigger profit for bigger tat. In North America this week, you guys are also getting Ty the Tasmanian Tiger HD Bush Rescue Bundle and Totally Spies Cyber Mission. Both of these should be out in Europe already. Alright, the low print releases. Alisa is the big one for me because of course it is. If you watched the Premium Direct last week, I officially revealed and opened pre-orders for Alisa, which is the big thing that I worked on for Premium Edition games. Banner of the Maid and this were pretty much #1 targets for me, and so to actually succeed at one of them, yeah, I'm really proud of it. Banner of the Maid, sorry guys, they just won't talk to me. But anyways, Alisa, it's a great game if you're into old school survival horror. It gets almost everything right. I really like this game a lot, and I stuck my neck out a little bit to get this done. Of course, I have absolutely no financial stake in it, but I think that's even worse when other people are trusting me and my judgment with their big chunk of change. I'm a little bit scared, but anyways, it's a great game. It's available for pre-order right now, and you can get it in a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, which comes with a soundtrack and a bonus item alongside some really nice art on a beautiful box. Now don't forget, you can get a pre-order bonus dog tag if you're in the USA and order from premiumeditiongames.com. If you live outside the US of A and you want this, then check out Video Games Plus. I've got links for those down below too. You won't get the dog tag, but you'll get everything else. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, my toes crossed, and my balls crossed for this one, hoping it does well. And my executive producers, they're with me, guys, okay? Instacritic, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Dane Wilkinson, and Dave Horworth have chosen this as their pick of the week. Croc, Legend of Gobbos, is up for pre-order right now at rocketgames.com. Yes, Douglas from Limited Run's new company. This is their third game, and they've actually snagged a winner this time. It's impossible that this won't do well because people my age who only grew up with a PS1 won't shut up about, okay, well first they won't shut up about Spyro, then they won't shut up about Crash Bandicoot, then thirdly they won't shut up about Croc. I've never played it, but I kind of want to, especially with this remake which looks pretty good. I'm always up for some 32-bit platforming action. And they have it for order in a standard and collector's edition on Switch and PlayStation 5, and my executive producer Alex M has chosen this as his pick of the week. Snow Bros Wonderland is one of 2 limited run releases this week, and it's definitely the one that no one will remember 5 minutes after this video has ended. One reason being it's getting a retail release in Europe, and secondly, I mean the game looks a bit bobbins. No offense, Snow Bros, but you know, in 3D with all the visual effort of a simple series game on the PlayStation 2, I think 3D really has degraded since devs started relying on Unity and stuff like that, you know, these stock engines, but I don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe I'm being harsh. Maybe it's a fun multiplayer time, who knows? Stop judging so early, guys. What do you like? You can pre-order it on Tuesday. Metal Slug Tactics is getting a 2-pronged release, but unlike those awesome barbecue prongs for stabbing sausages on the grill, we've got a release in North America and Europe from 2 different publishers. In North America on Tuesday, you can pre-order from Limited Run Games, Switch, PlayStation 5, PS4 and Xbox. There is a standard edition as well as a Commanding Officer edition. In Europe, You can order from Pix and Love with a standard edition, as well as 2 collector's editions, the Shockbox edition and the Deluxe edition. People have been waiting ages for this, and I have to admit, I was always very intrigued by it, but not to be a negative Nancy. You can call me a negative Nigel if you want, but you know, when the description says roguelite elements, I just can't help but feel a little bit disappointed. What's wrong with a proper bespoke and tightly designed handmade game? I don't know. Plus the pixel art isn't as good as the original Metal Slug games, which just goes to show how amazing they were back in the day. Unbelievable effort and talent. And I'm sure this is going to be fun because there is a solid team behind it. I just feel, you know, modern games lose me too easily, I don't know. But my executive producers, Dave Hustwaite, Lewis K, Offphone, Super Ben Julio, and Robotech have chosen this as their pick of the week. Alright, let's jump into the imports, Play Asia territory. Yeah, if you want to import any of the games in this video, then please consider using the Play Asia links. You can support me there too. And I can support you as well with 5% off with the code Jordan24. River City Saga 3 Kingdoms next is the big import this week for me. I'm super excited to be able to finally finish the story where the original game left off. Once again, we play as Guan Yu, as he brawls his way through the Three Kingdoms era. I like the first game a lot, and I'm guessing this is going to be pure continuation, and that's fine. It was simple but fun, and with the Kunio-kun adventure uniqueness about it, just a good time. Like the original, this is an import exclusive, but unlike the original, not only does the Asian physical release have English, but the Japanese physical now has English too. Excellent and affordably priced. It's on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. I don't know if I'll have a video about this since I'm locked out of my Switch Watch email account and I can't remember the contact for the publisher, but we'll see. And my executive producers, Vay and Brent McLean, have chosen this as their pick of the week. The Alchemist of Oz Magna is releasing physically this week on Switch. It's an import exclusive with English. This is an RPG with visual novel elements, and it's based on, shall we say, a not safe for work property, which, in fact, that means the PC version of this game has some extra naughty scenes, which obviously have been cut out for this Nintendo Switch version. You know, Nintendo are quite liberal with that, as we've seen with Funbox, releases, but this is a whole step further. Anyways, I'm sure it's going to be rough and overly simple, like me, but it's coming in a standard and collector's edition, which includes a theme song and soundtrack CD, acrylic stand, and digital art book. Japan is also getting these 2 games, one of which we will be getting pretty soon, one of which we may be getting in the future, I don't know. Maybe NIS America can come to the rescue of this one because it's developed by Fu-Ryu, you know what they're like. Alright, let's jump into the community spotlight. Jeannie and Alan sent in this photo showing off a few horror games they got over this period. I forgot about Moonrider. That looks like a fun Revenge of Shinobi homage. Yeah, I want to play that sometime. Executive producer Super Ben Julio sent in this photo with a couple of recent indie games, both supposedly really good, but let's face it, if I'm going to play one of these, you all know which one it's going to be. It's the one with the PS2 jank. Being Supersonic sent in this photo picking up Nuclear Blaze, which is a really fun game, and VGP have the North American version for just $14 US. Definitely a much better price. Daniel C sent in this photo with some nice RPGs to delve into, but may I point out Cathedral, which, believe it or not, is actually Premium Edition Games' most successful release. That took me by surprise. The gameplay is supposedly awesome. Executive producer Kevin W sent in this photo with Etta Knights, really good game, quite unique, and I like that it's an indie game that feels like it was made with ambition. This is how I thought indie games should have developed, from like 10, 15 years ago. Not 80% pixel roguelike deck builders, JB in my not sent in this photo. It's the least interesting game here, but I love that hidden object game package where it says 10 games in one. They literally didn't even bother to consider the font or how it fits with the package. That is graphic design is my passion jobbo, and I love it. Tracy Y sent in this photo picking up the Great Trine Quadrilogy, which I'm told is not actually a real world, but my Aliens DVD set I had as a teenager tells me otherwise. All 4 games on the cartridge and shipped instantaneously. What a great shadow drop that was. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo, picking up a huge bunch of games, as always, including the European Panzer Dragoon, which is actually complete on cart, unlike limited runs, which has a patch that makes the game decent. Executive producer Lewis K sent in this photo. They picked up the collector's edition of the Retro Realms double pack, and I love that faux VHS box art, the worn out look on it. Good job. Executive producer Dave Hallworth sent in this photo, picking up some games from VGP, a couple of which have had some decent discounts like Crisis 1. I'm tempted for $22. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo, picking up The Lost Child, which is a bit like God Wars in the fact that it got delisted from the eShop. However, unlike God Wars, this did not get a final reprint, at least as far as I know. McLaren sent in this photo, picking up the collector's edition of Romancing Saga 2, which was available in Japan. I believe it was on Square Enix's website, and it looks like a chunky old fella. I'd probably get it for the soundtrack alone, if I had the money. I don't have the money. Xiao Pichu sent in this photo, picking up these games, some recent, some not so recent. The Capcom Fighting Collection was just reprinted via VGP perfectly in time for the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Game Collection, which is releasing this month. Executive producer Ishin sent in this photo, picking up World of Goo 2, a cute little puzzle game that will definitely be a great one to play over the holiday period. I don't know why, it just gives me that feeling. Executive producer Jennifer M sent in this photo, picking up some cheaper editions of Nintendo games. Japan and Asia often have first-party titles for much cheaper than the West. Instead of like $60, you're looking at about $40, $42 for Japanese editions. Sojan sent in this photo, picking up the Tomb Raider collection, which looks as though it was unearthed by Laura herself in ancient Egypt. It's seen better days, but I've been told he got it much cheaper because of the packaging. Fair enough. Executive producer Vei, my main man in Japan, sent in this photo, picking up a bunch of import exclusives from last week. Last week, I called Wolfgang Wolfgang, as though he suddenly became Austrian. Nobody commented, so, it's all good. We all make mistakes. Cowell sent in this photo, picking up Sword of the Necromancer, which I believe is the later print. There was a European one, and then from nowhere, this North American one popped up, and I do wonder if it is complete on cart, unlike the European one. I'll have to find out. Jokey Level sent in 2 pictures, of which I have a rule against, but sometimes exceptions can be made, especially when they rock up with a 1 out of 4,000 copy of Iron Meat. You know what I would do with this? Stick it on eBay and then buy a different copy. Alright, let's have a roundup. Andrew R. Stefan N. Q Freak. Butter Boulder. Choco Loco James. Visipon. The Enemy Parasite. Needless Dragon. Adamantium. Bunny Bear. Max1216. Cressalac. Radio to Rancid. Peter C. Scumbag. Tap and then nap. Alisa. Alright, please send me your pictures on Twitter. You can DM me at SoWhatAboutGame if you can. If you can't, the email switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and the Discord. The server link should be below. Join that and submit it in the submissions section once I unlock it. I usually unlock it on Tuesday or Wednesday or when somebody reminds me. Special thanks as always to my executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Isa, Vei, Arphone, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Feig, Josh Foot, Ishin, Lewis K, Kevin W, Jennifer M, Super Ben Julio, Double Dave, Dave Hurstwaite, and Dave Horworth, and welcome to Wixit. Yeah, my producer from A Bit More Jordan joined the Let's Get Physical series. Thank you, Wixit. And if you want to join them to get all the perks that the producers get, you can do so with the Patreon link in the description as well. It's the last tier, okay, the very last one, okay? I know it's a bit confusing, but I'm sorry, it's just, Patreon doesn't let me have 2 accounts. If you don't want to support me that way, it's fine. Just purchase with my links if you can. Just leave a comment. And yeah, if you watched all the way through, you must be an absolute badass legend, right? So please leave me a crocodile emoji in honor of Croc, the legend of Gobbos. Go check out some of my other videos I had later last week. I had a lot of videos, almost 1 every day, sometimes 2 a day. God, guys, I'm just working so much. Have a good day. Take care.